What's going on, guys? Peter J. Cruz here. I want to do a quick unboxing. I just got this in yesterday. 11 Rack Pro Tools. Not that I'm a big Pro Tools person or fan or whatever, but this really was too good a deal to pass up. I mean, it's like $600, just about anywhere you look online. And it comes with the full-on version of Pro Tools, which is $600 by itself, plus 11 Rack, which, you know, it does the whole modeling thing. It's got, you know, whatever different amps and cabs and effects pedals modeled or whatever. It's got some I/O options. It's got digital I/O, analog I/O. You can reamp with it. It's a whole bunch of really, really cool things. I think the thing that kind of attracted me to it was the, and we'll do a quick unboxing, I'll show you, but the True Z input, which supposedly responds to your playing as you're playing, whether I keep the recorded audio from this, or excuse me, you use the modeled amps in the 11 Rack for my recordings or not is a whole other issue, because I could always reamp it through a different amp. It's not a big, that's not a problem. But having a nice responsive input is really, really cool. So that, I figured I'd go ahead and grab that. I mean, $600 was a steal for the hardware plus Pro Tools to boot. And if later on, if I want to do a project and I need to use Pro Tools for it for whatever reason, I'm good to go. And I mean, it's never a bad thing to have access to Pro Tools anyway, since it's so widely used in the industry anyway. I'm a big Sonar user, and I plan to stay with Sonar. But again, Pro Tools practically free when you get the 11 Rack, or vice versa. So anyway, here it is. I already had opened the seal up just because it was a little tore up. The box was actually, I mean, they literally stuck the shipping label on the outside of this box and sent it to me, which I wasn't too happy about, but it seems like everything arrived okay. Open her up, and nicely packaged. You got all the, you know, cables and whatnot. Got some cables, the USB, got some rack hardware, you know, if you get the little rubber feet if you want to put it on the bottom of the unit and just sit it on your desk. Or you've also got the screws and stuff if you want to sit there mounted into your rack in the studio. Power cord, actually 2 power cords. I'm guessing one's international. No, they're both the same. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a Japan power cord and a US power cord. Because I'm going to be packing my bags for Tokyo sometime soon. Anyway, USB cable, actually USB 2.0 most likely, because it's a USB 2 interface. And you get this other little doodad here, which is, you know, comes with an iLock 2 instruction booklet, and also an activation card with a code to unlock your version of Pro Tools. No CD here with Pro Tools. You've got to download whatever version. And what I've been reading on the reviews online, this is actually coming with the latest, which is Pro Tools 12, which is always a good thing. But if not, I think I have access to 11 at the very least, so that's not bad. And this is get the iLock in there, and yeah, iLock. But I've already got an iLock 2, so it's not a problem. And then you've got, let's see here, driver's disc, 11 Rack quick start setup guide. It's got a product registration card with serial number and so forth. And you've got a 11 Rack user guide, still in a shrink wrap. I keep dropping stuff. And then a Avid health and safety guide, because Avid's the experts in health and safety. Just so, you know, if next time you need to make a doctor's appointment, call up Avid and they'll hook you up. Just kidding, you know. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way. I've got space here somewhere. I'm actually planning to do a complete, I'm not gonna say a redesign or a rebuild of my studio, but I'm gonna like clean everything out and just kind of rearrange everything. And I mean, the desk will still be against this wall, but I got too much clutter and junk and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and tend to that so I can work a little more efficiently. Let me reach in here and pull the 11 Rack out. And the only other thing left in the box is a silica gel. And ladies and gentlemen, you are not supposed to eat this. Just FYI. Alright, let me go ahead and get these rubber things off of the 11 rack. And I will say there seems to be quite the community. Well, there's always, you know, the Pro Tools community has a large community, as it were. And there's a lot of support in the community, and I mean like the internet at large, with presets and downloads and stuff for the 11 rack. In fact, one of the things I've got coming up is I'm going to be updating I've got a Behringer floorboard, a FCB 1010, that I'm going to update the ROM with it to where I'll be able to use it to control the 11 rack. There's ROMs, there's an Eureka Sound Mod, or ROM chip. But I've already got the other one. What's the other one? It's the Uno ROM. So I've got that one already. I just can't find it. That's another reason why I'm going to clean up the studio. So I'm going to clean it up and hopefully find it and do the install on that. So then I can use it and I'll be able to program it specifically for, you know, for the 11 rack. So anyway, here's the 11 rack all in its plastic bag. You know when you buy a new car, for those of you that have bought a new car before, you always have that new car smell? You don't have a new car smell when you buy a new piece of rack here. At least not from Avid anyway. Got a little notice here on top. Warning, before you power on the 11 rack, make sure any connected amplifiers or power monitors are turned off or muted. Yeah, they don't want to have a little, you know, one of those clicks when you turn something on and blow your speakers up. So that's a good warning there. So anyway, here we got the 11 rack. And, you know, you've got your True Z inputs here. This is where your guitar goes in. And you have a plethora of, you know, your headphones. You can connect straight to an amplifier, or it's like a power amp in, or like an effects return jack in the back of your amplifier. And get your, you know, editing knobs and scroll wheel and volume. And these are the actual knobs you use to modify any of your effects or amps or anything like that. You turn it around and you've got your big Avid sticker right here in the back. Your input for your AC. And you got your effects sends and returns here. So if you want to plug in additional rack gear to like a guitar signal, to a guitar input, you can do that. You've got a chorus pedal that you love, or let's say you have an Eventide harmonizer, unit or whatever. You can patch it in, and then whatever you program on a preset, you can program it in or out of whatever presets you want. So you basically like turn it on at will, almost like like the built-in effects. You got your main outputs here, which you can send to your studio monitors. Or you can even send it to if you're playing live with this, which is another cool thing. If you're playing live with it, you can also send this out to your PA system, to the house. Line inputs, yeah. So that's your main outputs going out to your PA or to your recording desk or whatever. Yeah. And then you've got your line inputs, which are if you're hooking up other additional line level gear. This is another output that goes to an amp. So you've got two output options. One you can send to one amp dry, and you can send another one to something else full wet with all the effects and stuff, which is really useful if you do monitoring or that sort of thing. And you don't want you want to monitor with effects, but you want to record dry. MIDI in and out, an expression or effect, an external foot switch. It's kind of like one of those click deals or whatever. Digital I/O. And you've also got SPDIF here as well, and then your USB. And that's the 11 rack in a nutshell. I've got some cleaning up to do. I'm probably going to put it into the desk here somewhere and get it hooked up and tweak some patches and just have some fun with it. So anyway, guys, that's all I had for today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by. My little 11 rack and Pro Tools unboxing. I'll have to let you guys know what version of Pro Tools I end up getting, if it's 12 or whatever. So anyway, thanks a bunch. Rock on. We'll catch you later.